Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here with the author of July's Devotional, Dr. Russell Meek, and he has written a study on the Book of Proverbs that I think everyone will enjoy. It's titled Wisdom from Above. Welcome, Russ.
Thanks so much for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your role at Moody and what you've been doing.
So I've been teaching at Moody for since about 2014, I think. And I started out in undergrad, and now I teach primarily or exclusively, I guess, at the seminary. And so I teach several of the Hebrew courses and the Old Testament studies courses. So
tell us a little bit about the study this month and a little bit, maybe a sneak preview of what to expect with the Book of Proverbs.
Sure. The Book of Proverbs is this great collection of wise sayings, right? So the first 9 chapters are really one long segment where Solomon is giving instruction to his son about how to choose the right way in life. And so there are these, essentially, a good friend of mine, Sam Bierig, talks about Proverbs as presenting the 2 ways. Okay, there's like the way of wisdom, and then there's the way of folly or wickedness or foolishness. And we see that played out really clearly in 1 through 9. And then in the rest of the book, 10 through 31, that's what we're most familiar with when we think about Proverbs, the short, pithy sayings. Those are typically examples of either the way of wisdom or the way of folly, and sometimes both of those together. And so in this study, I try to work through several different Proverbs to talk about what it means to walk faithfully with the Lord and what it means to walk foolishly without the Lord.
The ideas of wisdom and foolishness are something, as parents, we try to impart to our kids, right?
Yes.
It's smart to do this. It's not so smart to do that. What is the difference between being wise and being smart?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in the Bible, wisdom is quite a bit more expansive than the way we understand wisdom, but it makes a good sense of the difference between wisdom and smarts, So biblical wisdom is essentially like the ability to do the right thing at the right time. And that includes, and this is really wonderful, I think, it includes things like art and building. The 2 guys who were the Lord chose to design and build the tabernacle were chosen because of their wisdom and skill. And so it's this combination of not just knowing things, but like knowing things, the right things at the right time, and then how to put those things into practice. So we would say if someone is good at building a home or building cabinets or painting a beautiful picture or writing a great book, those are all examples of wisdom, like putting into practice what we know.
I think it's a great study because, some people turn to the Proverbs day by day and read little bits at a time. But here we're going to really take a look at the whole book and what the shape of it is. Right.
That's exactly right.
So as you've read Proverbs, and it has a lot to say about the way we speak, how does that influence the way we are today in our present age?
Right. So one of the biggest challenges that Christians face today is, I think, the use of social media, right? And so social media has opened up this like broad opportunity to say whatever we want, whenever we want. And Proverbs is really clear that we should bridle our tongues, like James says, right? That we should be very careful about the things we say, the words we use, because like James says, like our tongues have the power of life and death. And social media, unfortunately, removes any filter and gives us the opportunity to speak to a really broad audience anytime, all the time. And so I think a particular challenge for Christians today from the Book of Proverbs is to really take our use of social media before the Lord and ask him for wisdom in using the platform well, and for wisdom in restraining our tongues as well.
What do you hope that readers will take away from this month's study?
I hope, first of all, for every reader of every issue of Today in the Word, that they walk away with a deeper and more profound love for God and love for his people. I mean, like, that is absolutely most important to like everything that we do, right? Love God and love people. And I hope that this study in Proverbs, like as you read it, you can see more clearly how to love God and how to love people with your words, with your work ethic, with the way that you raise your children and love the people around you.
Right. So the lessons aren't just for children. These are lessons for us to take away and to take to heart. It's a good time, I think, in the summer to slow down and to stop and really consider what we do and why we do it. So thank you. Thank you, Russ, for writing this. And I know that readers will be blessed by it, and hopefully they can teach their own children, right? The wise way or the foolish way.
That's right. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.